And choose editing the photograph to dress your template figure. File, open, desktop, heads and feet. So you need to save these, make these files in Illustrator and save them as PDF. Resolution 150. Okay. So two different images of the heads, completely different ways of working with them. This first one, what happens is she's got lots of bitsy bits and this t-shirt is really difficult to select. I'll just show you how if you select using the magic wand, you might need to lower your tolerance. We'll try 20. Command D anytime you want to get rid of the marching ants. So yeah, that's a better selection. It'll still be a bit chewy on the edges, so you'll need to go in and clean it up a bit, but delete, that got rid of most of the background. If I select the t-shirt, you'll notice that it's sort of pretty tricky because it's a male, so it's a very sort of blotchy kind of thing. But if we, just keep clicking over bits, little those little dotty bits, eventually we'll sort of get rid of enough around the hair that we can just select that and delete it. Command D. So zooming in and looking at those edges, they're pretty terrible. The best way to select something like that, I know we've used the polygonal lasso in the past, but you're all quite good at using the pen tool now. So I'll show you how to use it in Photoshop. It's a bit different to Illustrator. Click on the outside, click to here, click say down to that bit and drag. Now if you want to change direction, you hold down Option or Alt click, come in. And I guess the trick is with this sort of thing is don't have too many sort of curvy or pointy ends to it. Often this tool will work quite well if you just keep clicking. And it's a good idea to be quite zoomed in as you're using it. Try and be a bit random with your selections. Won't do the whole thing, I'll just do something like this. So yeah, the general, whoops, Command Z if you get the wrong one. Option, hold down, click to there, click to there, click to there. So we're deleting the area, not selecting it. So once you've got the selection made, if you now press delete, it will just delete the line work you just made. You have to come up to your control bar in Photoshop and click on selection. A feather radius of 1 pixel is good. It just sort of softens the edge, and press delete once it's selected. Okay, so that's the idea of cleaning it up afterwards. You might want to change the proportions of the face. Lovely as she is, I found that if I selected the eye area, actually I could do both at the same time, I'll do that. What you're doing is you're seeing what the hairline looks like and trying to come in from that hairline the same shape, so when you enlarge it, it will line up with the hairline. So Command T, hold down Shift and Option because we're going to drag it out to make it bigger. See how if we go too far it's covering up the hair. So we just want it inside of that hairline. Okay, like that. So it's slightly bigger than it was, not a lot. If you go too big, she'll look a bit alien. Now we've got a bit of a problem with this area not blending. So they've taken my favourite tool away, the spot healing brush, but the keypad letter for it is J. So just press J and then click, if you make a mistake, undo, clicking into the hairline, and don't ever click from a dark place out, click from a light place in. There we go. So make the eyes bigger. Now with her mouth I found that, and as I select, I'm selecting through the mid areas of tone. So, okay, something like that. Command T, and again Shift Option, and pushing in just to make it slightly smaller on its width, but then we're going to drag to make it deeper. So a little bit of home surgery. Press the plus sign or return, Command D, and again J to fill in, areas that are missing. So it's pretty simple. Yeah, provided you do it properly the first time. Okay, anyway, let's pretend I did that really well. The other thing I would do, you might have a bit of shading, so sort of click, I'm just going to, oh, I'm on the wrong tool, should have the, so use the pen tool. We're just going to get rid of the skin on the neck. But try and keep the shading. So if this happens when you're selecting with the pen tool, you can go to your pen tool selection. We've got the free transform. If you click somewhere and drag or minus, it should, yeah, that one's does normally let you manipulate it. Anyway, you get used to them. The curvature tool, that can sort of push it in as well. Okay, worked beautifully before. Delete. The minus, let's try minusing a point. There we go. Minus that point, and then we'll start again with the pen tool and click up to there, click to the chin, click up to here, click on selection up on your R there, okay, for the pixel feathering, and delete. Alright, so she's nowhere near finished, but if she was, we could select her and copy her to our Illustrator document. Okay, so you just go Command Copy, open up your Illustrator file, which would be your figure, and Command Paste. And so then you would scale her or run her through Image Trace. Coming back to this file, okay. This girl, if you were using an image like this, you could use her just as is. I would suggest that just that top bit of hair up there needs to be replaced. So if you select around that area, it's very hard to give up the polygonal lasso. Okay, and go Edit, Fill, Content Aware, okay. And also this little bit here is kind of needs a little bit of extension. Edit, Fill, Content Aware, okay. I'd select D, I'd select all of it. So getting my marquee, just marquee over the whole head, and levels, Command L. Probably darken her up a bit, but not too much, unless you could use that to, fill it in and then colour it. So something like that, and then lighten, the other areas. But, the thing is we are losing her lips, so you could try, okay. And so if you want to play with the levels just on the other part of it, say all the skin, and the eyes, even the nose, but not the mouth. You're happy with that? Then you can sort of select it like that. Select the rest of it. Then go levels, Command L, and use the lighten. So we're just trying to lighten bits of the hair, something like that. Okay. And it's a good idea to lighten the eyes on Asian people because they do have brown eyes, they're not black. And so if you've got a little bit of tonal value in there, they'll look a bit brighter. Okay, Command D. So that's good like that. Command 0. And our shoe, what happened earlier was I made a selection for the shoe by drawing it, and then you go save selection and you name it, and then you can go load selection, and I will, oh, it was a different file. Okay, well I'll just quickly select the shoe. So you only need one shoe. You only need one shoe, so normally I'll select the one that looks the best. Something like that. Hold down Option, click on the end, click to the end here, click to there, hold the curve, click up to here. Okay, so got that. I could fix that corner a little bit, but I'm not going to. So selection, make a selection out of it. Okay, I'm going to save that selection. Save as shoe. Okay, and I'm going to use levels on it. Command L. I'm going to lighten internally because I want it to look like velvet, and velvet sort of works something like, well, satin velvet works something like that. Then I'm going to make a new layer, and I want to choose that blue colour I used before for the shoe. And so I've just chosen that from my swatches. And I'm going to, so make sure you're on the new layer. Get your paint bucket, throw the paint in, and then you can go through your blending modes. So remember it's V, selection tool, hold down Shift and plus. And then you can just go through the different blend modes. V, Shift, plus. Yeah, that one. Okay, Command D. So we'll merge visible because there's only two anyway. Then I can go select load selection. I'll do the shoe, okay. And then Command X or copy. Go back to my Illustrator file, Command paste. And so the shoe's in there now. You only need one shoe, and scale to fit. Also we'd probably scale it and then reflect it, but remember transform, right click, transform, reflect, and copy. Got one for each foot. And so I could give my girl different coloured shoes for each one. I could give her different coloured hair. So, you know, if I wanted to, I could select, we'll try 100 maybe. If I Command D and select her hair, it's got a fair bit of it. I don't know that I need all those little bits. No, it's too much. Make a selection out of it, or yeah, make a selection, save, call it hair. Okay, make a new layer. Maybe throw the blue in again. See what happens. V, Shift, plus plus. I like that. Okay. I can always change the way it looks as well. I could go into my adjustments and work with hue and saturation. If I felt it was too bright, I could lower the saturation or I could beef it up, just depending. Anyway, I'll just leave it at that, and I will merge the layers again. Merge visible. So all back on one layer. So what I'm going to do is select that head, copy, go back to my Illustrator file, paste. Whoops, wrong one. Hang on. Make sure the layer is selected. Command copy, go back to Illustrator, command paste, and with this one we're going to use image trace. So window, image trace, and so you can say ignore white, but I want to show you something. So we'll just say tracing, yeah, look, we'll just go black and white. If you do have a colour image and you don't want a white background, you can click ignore white. If you do a tracing and it doesn't select it well enough, you can push your threshold up, but you have to be careful because it can take forever if it's too detailed. Mode black and white, or it could be grey. I could choose grayscale for this rather than black and white. In fact, I don't want it grayscale, I want it colour. Tracing result, tracing with outlines, well, doesn't matter. Palette limited. I think I'll go full tone actually, and trace, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so now that I've got this, it's still like a photo, but I want to get rid of the white. So this would be if you want to get rid of the white. Object, expand, and what that does is it, and you have to tick object, go OK. What that does is it turns it into a line drawing. See all that blueness is actually pixels. Now what we're going to do is get our eyedropper, select the white, go select same, fill colour, which is white, and delete. There you go. Look, it didn't do a beautiful job, and that's because of the tonal value involved in the photo, but see all these little white bits would actually get picked up. But if you're keen, you can zoom in because they're actually all shapes. So you can get your group selection tool and just hold down shift and select anything that you want to get rid of. And hours of fun, press delete. So it's always worth, making the original selection very carefully. When I try and size this down, it'll go through all the different options again with the tracing. Oh no, make a liar out of me. Anyway, you want it to be scaled to the head. I mean, you can make it bigger if you want to, give her a big head, or use the template to, make sure she's in proportion. So if it's too small, we need to make it bigger. And you should keep head arrows. Oop. Okay. Oh. Anyway, you know what I mean. When you've done that, because she's on a separate layer, you can delete the bit underneath, and it always helps to zoom in. I say it once to myself, I say it 100 times, zoom in. Okay, so yeah, there you go, and get rid of the line work, and you're ready to go. With colouring the figure, so just say, you click on the figure and you say we want pink fill. I'll just try and find something similar to skin in here. See how it's not filling properly? That's because none of these paths are joined. We're going to use the paint bucket. So don't try and fill any of the template figures the normal way by selecting the fill colour. We'll use the paint bucket. So where is it? Anyway, we'll do that later. Here it is, live paint bucket. That's the one. So it's different. You click inside the shapes. All right, good luck with that.